thunderstorms with a high temperature around 83 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 73.
Hey Chicago, Joe Fontana here, founder of Fry the Coop. At Fry the Coop, we serve the best chicken sandwiches in the world. And no, that's not an opinion, that's a fact my taste buds personally signed off on. At Fry the Coop, we hand bread every single piece of chicken, double fry it in 100% beef tallow, and we hit it with our secret Fry the Coop spice rub like it owes us money. The result? A Fry the Coop sandwich so crunchy, juicy, spicy, sweet, salty, and savory, it feels illegal. Fry the Coop has a one-of-a-kind sandwich that makes your taste buds high-five each other. Don't like it? No problem. We guarantee happiness or your money back. But don't worry, you're not going to need it. We now have 10 Fry the Coop locations around the Chicagoland area. So no matter where you're at, there's a good chance there's a Fry the Coop 15 minutes away. And we're a local Chicago company, born and bred, for the people, by the people. So come down and support your local boys and get the best chicken sandwich in the world. Right here in Chicago, right here at Fry the Coop.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us for the drive home today, August 5th. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for our hump day, honey.
He's back. Hello.
Hey. He's back from Amsterdam, everybody. He is super giddy.
I am. Wow. Yes, I am. I'm so happy to be
welcome
here.
back. Look what a few days in another country do for you. You look re-energized. You look passionate. You look
the best time ever. I am so proud of just the worldwide LGBTQ community. It was amazing. Amsterdam won. Like, I've never gotten on a plane from another country and felt like, yeah, that country won. I have lost.
Everyone go home. No prizes for you.
Yeah, no
prizes.
But the funny thing is, I'm on a plane. I was just telling Lady B this. 50% of the folks were just regular travelers, and 50% were, the gay guys coming back from, and you could totally tell, because most of us came from the same after party. We were dying. Like, we're going through the line. It's just like, if the bag lights up, whatever is it, just throw it away. I don't want to even talk. I need to sit down. On average, I walked. So the most amount that I walked there was 56,000 steps in a day.
What? I don't think I've ever gone over 31 or 32,000.
My lease was 44,000 because we walked everywhere. I danced every night. Also, Madonna and Kylie Minogue popped up to do a surprise concert. That was amazing. But it was so awesome. It was so awesome.
I'm so thrilled you had that experience too, and I love that it kind of carried on on the plane ride home. And
well, we all slept,
but still, that energy of we left it all in Copenhagen.
Amsterdam.
I'm sorry, Amsterdam.
Amsterdam owes me nothing. They owe me. I owe them something.
How fast do you think you're going to go back?
I've already made plans to go back next year.
See, this is how
I'm ready.
You and I both love, and you have family ties in New Orleans. That's how I am about New Orleans.
Yeah.
Every time I left, I was like, I have to plan my next trip. Mm-hmm. I need to be back in this world.
I already put down a deposit on the hotel room at the Ibis I'll be staying.
Amazing.
I had such a wonderful time. The people were great, and it's a lot more multicultural there than I ever thought. But it was just, words cannot describe. And I was there with my wonderful partner, and we had just a wonderful time. And I just showed you the candid photo. But
so sweet.
We had such a good time. And as soon as we got back, I apologized because I was with my partner that does not drink and doesn't engage. He's just wild. And I was like, I'm so sorry you had to drag me through Amsterdam, like holding my hand while I'm just like, I need water. Where are the French fries? Like it was fun.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. Did you have any exchanges with people? I mean, I imagine for a festival like this, it's all about, celebrating.
Yes.
Did you have anybody talk to you about, America? And was there any
So
conversation?
here's the thing, and this is crazy. And I was telling a friend of mine, there's a very big distinction that is made when you are an American between being, as a Black American, it is automatically assumed that I had nothing to do with Trump. So people are more apologetic.
They're like, "Are you okay? Do you need help?
Yes, it was
Do you
kinda
need to
like-
send in
like-
the troops for you?"
Because I didn't do that. But it was that one of the funniest things is when you go into these street fairs, you can't go in with open food.
Right.
So I go through the bag and the man looks all weird, and I had Gouda cheese open because I've been eating it because I've been smoking pot and I got to eat my Gouda cheese. And
Did not know that was your jam. I mean, your cheese.
It wasn't. But it was available. So,
Okay.
so
Are
the
you
guy
just there with a fork and Gouda? What do you got? Crackers?
No,
Anything?
I'm eating Gouda cheese with my hands,
Okay,
honey. Like
okay.
I'm just because it's been a day. And the lady comes over. She goes, "He will be fine. He's American, but he's Black." And I was like, "What is happening?" And true story, hand to God. And she goes, "You can't bring it in. It's open." And I immediately just threw it away. And she looked at the guy like, "See," and just walked away. And the funny thing is, and my person I was with, my partner, explained to me that other kinds of Americans would argue, why can't, and I was just like, oh, well, they said no, so I'm just not doing, like, I'm in another country, I'm not arguing with people about the laws of their country. So there is a big distinction that I noticed right away, just being a Black American in a different country, in a country in Europe. It's more like, I am so sorry for you. Are you okay? Blink twice.
Well, because I feel like we will send in the troops.
We will help you.
It's, when we traveled and it wasn't quite into the depths of this administration, we went to Scotland, Paris and Scotland in September last year. And so it wasn't too bad. I have found, we connected with people who were like they tried, we were in a pub in Scotland and they were kind of like, so are you? And I was like, nope, we didn't vote for Trump. No, we were off to the races like, talking about it. And this guy was like very much into our politics and stuff. And I would say this as far as like pride, and it's amazing to me. And I don't every day, but I think I need to be mindful. It is a calling card to let people know that they're safe with you.
Yes.
By wearing anything pride related.
It is.
I was volunteering at the Italian Beef Fest on Sunday at the beer tent.
Sounds like fun.
It was very fun.
Tasty.
And
Gravy bread.
And the guy, like, it's amazing to me how people in the community see. I have earrings that say love, and they have a rainbow on them.
Yeah.
And I was at Wrigley a few weeks ago, and someone said, "I love your earrings," and I'm like, "Happy Pride."
Yeah.
And it means something, and I just want to let folks know in any way you can feel. I would wear something that indicates that you are an ally.
And I will say, being at World Pride, there were so many folks from different countries where they can't be themselves in their own country, and it reminded me of the fight and how we still have a lot of work. Because there's so many folks that go, "Why is Pride?" It's necessary because there are so many countries in the world that folks are being imprisoned and they can't talk about it. So that's why it's important.
Yeah.
That's why World Pride is important.
I agree. By the way, someone just texted, Cheech and Cheese, let's go.
They were there with me. That it was a lot of cheese and a lot of fries with mayonnaise. I love a fry with mayonnaise.
Now, I actually combine the mayo with ketchup. I do both.
They offer that.
That's very tasty.
No, they offer that.
I'm
I'm not a
fan.
big ketchup fan because I'm a grown up, so I don't eat ketchup. But
okay, that wasn't necessary.
It was.
Okay,
but I love mayonnaise. So they have these big triangles with fries, mayonnaise, and Parmesan cheese, and I was like, yes. But this is where everyone is going to collectively hate me, and that's okay. I ended up losing 4 pounds while I was there.
You were
from all
walking
the
56,000 steps.
Yes, from all
Yeah,
the
you get to
walking.
eat what you want.
It was great.
I remember, honestly, I don't think I've ever beaten. I did at Disney World, I think I did like 27,000. Griffin and I walked all over New York City when we were looking at colleges and we went to the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I probably did around somewhere around 30,000. I'm sure I have a record of it somewhere. But I remember going, I'm eating whatever I want.
It was a combo of the walking. Every night I was there, I danced from maybe 9 p.m. to 4 to 5 a.m. Every night we went to a different dance party. So
Oh, how fun.
I love dancing.
And our friend Dee says that's called fry sauce in some places.
Yes.
Apparently the ketchup. And,
yes.
I love that.
It was great.
I'm a big fan of French fries. I have to say, I am not an adult, apparently, to your point.
I got that from President Obama, by the way.
Oh, he says I'm an adult, I don't use ketchup?
Well, no, he said that something to the effect of ketchup is juvenile, or like adults don't eat ketchup. Something
on their hot dogs. I think that's specifically for hot dogs.
No, he said it in general.
I need to have a talk with Mr. Obama.
Let's call him. Let's get him in
President
here.
Obama. Do you know? You know what? Do you know the story about how I nearly got fired the first time from my previous radio job? About how I called Mayor Manuel in the middle of the night at like a quarter till 2 in the morning.
You were known for that.
It was my thing. The pretty late wake up call. What I found out later. Did you ever meet Reverend Gregory Livingston? He closed down Lakeshore Drive during the marches after Laquan McDonald's murder.
Yes.
So he had Mayor Emanuel's number. That's how we got the number. And then later he told me maybe we should have called President Obama or President Clinton. And I'm like, what?
Like that was an option?
Those were options? Yes.
How dare you?
Instead, the very angry, vindictive mayor who tried to it was so funny.
Like you made me call the Grinch at like 2 in the morning. No offense to if he's listening, I doubt it, but because we're liberals. Oops, who said yikes?
Oh, which brings up
Who said that?
Okay, so we talked about how people. I don't know. Was that me? Was that outside mine? I don't know who said that. Did anyone talk to you about being from Chicago?
Yeah.
What's the reaction to being from Chicago?
So they usually Chicago is met with Michael Jordan. I'm like, yep, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, the Bulls, Obama, and the Pope. So it's like,
Yep, all right, I love it. So we're moving. So Capone is moving farther and farther down the list, is what I love. Right, Lady B does not.
No one brought up Capone.
Oh, it used to be Capone. Well, and the Untouchables brought that back up when in the 80s, right? So the Untouchables.
Nobody mentioned Capone. It was mainly Michael Jordan.
Oh, before Michael Jordan, it was Capone, because Lady B's nodding.
Yeah,
the old ladies in the room will tell you. I don't mean to lump you in with me being the old lady B, but you know what I mean. Gen X at this point. We're leaning into
bowing out of that one.
Oh yeah, people used to do the machine gun gesture.
Got
in
it.
other parts of the world. Oh yeah,
it's great.
I want to just hug you for being so young to not know.
I'm not there yet.
I'm young enough.
Talk to these knees, lady.
I'm just saying. Ken Mejia Beal is the Midwest chair for the Victory Fund. Tell folks a little bit about the work that you do at the Victory Fund.
So we are making sure that LGBTQ candidates are not just on your ballot, and I want to be very clear about that today. We are making sure that LGBTQ candidates have the opportunities that everyone else does. And I want to be clear about that because I sometimes skip over that. So often respectability politics comes into play, and LGBTQ candidates are told, well, you're great, but you won't win in this district, or people won't donate to you in this district, or that's what we're here for, to not just push LGBTQ candidates because they're LGBTQ. We're here because the candidates that we're pushing are already running. And we are making sure that they have the resources that they have. Because so often, LGBTQ candidates, Black candidates, Latino candidates, depending on where they are told, well, you can't win here. And that's the issue.
And I told you, I'm guilty of this. And I sat down and had a meeting with the candidate to tell them I was guilty of this and that I would not be participating in saying that anymore, that I would not be a part of the problem. I would not be a part of the self-fulfilling prophecy, confirmation by all that stuff. So S is running for alderperson of the 45th Ward right here on the northwest side of Chicago.
Yes, and I told you to connect us.
I need to connect you to S. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are two candidates right now that I know of, and but at any rate, they put out a statement about hearing that kind of language, and I'm like, that's exactly what I said. Is and there are other people who say, oh, a woman can't win, a person of color can't win. And I get the practicality of that. And it's all, but it is also something that you then reinforce going forward. It's a very much, if not now, when. If we continue to say, like when I ran for state rep, they told me, wait my turn. So here we are. What was I going to do? Right.
Well, and I'll tell you, when I ran for chair of the as a black, openly gay man running for the chair of the Democratic Party in DuPage, there were so many people who said, well, I can't support, like, you're not going to win. It's impossible to win here.
Exactly.
And when I ran, there's a whole lot of other challenges that came. And that's when I really leaned on the Victory Fund, because I was like, you know, some of the stuff I'm going through is crazy. And they were like, this is actually normal for gay people, or gay and lesbian people. So they were very helpful in that way.
Interesting. Yeah. We need to expand our expectations and our thinking.
Well, if you can't see it.
Yeah.
And
yes.
So when we talk about innovation, if you ask someone back in the, you know, in 1900, how can we get from point A to point B faster? They would say, well, what we can do is we can get more horses, and we can blah, 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 blah. It takes someone with real innovation to say, I can build an engine from metal. And they're going to sound crazy. But until you see it and it works, and I think that's how it is for marginalized folks, is that on paper, it sounds like that cannot happen. But then it happens. And it's like, okay, maybe it could happen. I don't know.
It's funny because I don't know. I didn't have any thoughts about whether or not a black person could be president of the United States.
I did.
But I didn't have impressions like negative or positive, like just, you know.
I didn't think it would ever happen.
Oh, the minute he gave that speech, we are not the red states of America. We are not the blue states of America. We are the United States of America. I was like, this man, take my money. I was like, yes, right now. Let's go.
I didn't think it would happen. I didn't think it would happen.
I agree with you on that. I mean,
did not think it would happen. And then when it did happen, I remember, I'll never forget when they got out of the motorcade on the inauguration, and I felt literally sick to my stomach because I was like, something bad is going to, it's about to happen right now. And it didn't. But I didn't think that would ever happen. I didn't think so.
It was, you know, when John McCain, because I actually might have in 2000 voted for McCain
except
over Gore.
Sarah Palin.
Well, that's the thing.
Sarah Palin killed it.
Well, but even after the, you know, when George Bush won the nomination of the Republican Party, I mean, like there was something. I wasn't a conservative Democrat. I wasn't a fully formed human being. You know what I mean? Like politically. I mean, politically, you know what I'm saying? You know, I was still like kind of, I'd grown up in a household where I listened to Republicans and their point of view, my dad. And
the first president I ever voted for was President George Bush, his second term. I was 18. And I stand by I don't stand by it, but at that age, I was thinking to
John Kerry. It was John Kerry.
John Kerry. Yeah. I was thinking to myself, we are in the middle of a war, and John Kerry just wants to pull us out of it, and I don't think that's the right way to do. Like, I do remember being very supportive of General Wesley Clark, and when he did not win, I was like, I think I have to vote for Bush because I don't know, like, we're already in it.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people, and that was
like, I don't know what to do.
You can't change, you know, General can't change you can't change a horse midstream. That
was my. And, you know, when I ran for chair, there were these, you know, once again, these people that always said, well, this isn't about race, but we pulled up Ken's voting record over the last 20 years, but it's not about race. And he voted for, and it's like, well, let's look at my age. That's very important. And two, we were in the middle of a war. I had never lived through a war. I saw 9/11. I was going
to say,
there's a lot that was happening. So I don't always look at folks' voting records. I always try to, what is your story?
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's a story behind it.
Exactly. We are hanging out with Ken Mejia Beal. He is our Hump Day honey. He is.
I don't know where that was going.
I don't know either. Friend, our Hump Day.
Hump Day friend.
Sometimes I look at the screen at the same time I'm talking.
I have that same problem.
Fries and malt vinegar. That was my. I was going to say my Hump Day fries. Apparently,
that's also very tasty with fish and chips.
Yes, it's very good. Our Hump Day honey. Ken Mejia Beal is in studio with us. He is the chair for the Midwest Victory Fund. And go to victoryfund.org, and we'll continue our conversation when we come back on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1115 Seattle. All of our friends tuning in digitally, all thanks to our sponsors, Minocqua Brewing Company. And you can follow us on Substack and watch us on the live stream right there. If you subscribe and join us, we would love to have you join the conversation. Thank you to our sponsors, Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to pridecoffeeroasters.com and put in an order for some of the best single origin roasted to order coffee beans you have ever had. And they'll be at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market this Sunday. And I believe they'll also be in studio tomorrow in the 5:30 hour. So very excited to have them. And our friends from Vargo Brothers, they make the best fermented foods. They're going to be on the line with us.
Oh, very tasty.
Oh, so I have to bring you a jar. You know what? Do you like garlic?
Do I like garlic?
Okay, I'm going to bring you some.
No vampires biting me. Let's just put it that way.
Same. They are.
Garlic powder is in my veins.
The vampires aren't biting
It's in my veins.
The vampires aren't biting, and neither are my husband. Let me take a break here, and we'll come back. Thank you to Source Solar. Go to source.solar. We'll hear more from them in a moment on WCPT.
Tom Hartman.
Remember David Vitter having sex with hookers and stuff, and he came back to the Senate and they gave him a standing ovation. Donald Trump brags about raping women and was convicted or adjudicated, and he gets elected president. So if Grant Platter was a Republican, he'd be in Fast City right now. He would have gained votes, but he's a Democrat, and Democrats don't like that kind of stuff. Democrats, want to defend women.
The Tom Hartman radio program, weekdays 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Cancer affects all of us. Today alone, 5,370 people in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer. That's why Stand Up to Cancer funds and develops the newest and most promising cancer treatments to help patients today. Stand Up to Cancer wants to provide you with every opportunity to join in this mission. By donating your home, land, or commercial property, you can help Stand Up to Cancer fund innovative cancer research. Donating eases the stress associated with selling a home and can also help lead to the next breakthrough in cancer prevention, diagnosis, and treatment. Stand Up to Cancer makes the process easy, and it may be tax deductible. It will take all of us standing up together to put an end to cancer as we know it. Help us save lives right now. Your home or property could hold the key to the next breakthrough in cancer research. Visit standuptocancer.org/giveproperty to learn more.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and all of our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook and YouTube and Minocqua Brewing Company. Substack. Joining me in studio is my Hump Day Honey. It's Ken Mejia Beal. He's the chair for the Victory Fund. Go to victoryfund.org. And some of the things that are going on federally. I mean, I don't know. What is it, was there any news while you were enjoying your vacation? Did you just like turn everything off and didn't follow anything?
No, I can't. I mean, I was still following Dr. Abdul Al-Sayed's race.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, I did phone bank for him and Cori Bush. So I was still following that race and very happy for his win. I'm very sad for her loss.
Yeah.
I followed that. I also followed, that was pretty much it. That was my main thing, is let's just follow these.
We talked to Pastor Adam Hamilton the night before the election, on Monday night.
Yeah.
And so he was already in the lead. He was pretty much, Andy Miles texted me and said that he had pretty much won automatically as soon as the polls closed. And I think if I saw correctly today, someone shared within our group here in the newsroom that the seat that he's running for has gone from solidly Republican to likely.
Awesome.
Which is interesting.
That's good.
And he's a pastor. And he's talked about, traveling from district to district, every county, every precinct, and talking to people. And, as a pastor, he might, similar to Tallarico, who can, communicate using the language of conservatives, meaning,
No, and that's important.
Makes a difference.
Like I could, if I went back home to Arkansas and ran, I know I couldn't win because I no longer speak that language. So it is very important in that regard. It's very important to be able to speak to. You have to meet folks where they are.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to.
So this is from one of the Sabato. I don't know if you're familiar with this person who I guess does the crystal ball. Sabato's crystal ball, shifted the Kansas Senate race from safe Republican to likely Republican, which is softer than safe.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll take it.
Well, we'll take anything. I think it's important, even if we don't win these races, to remain competitive.
Exactly.
To remain competitive.
Let's get to Jim's call, because I know we're not going to be able to take calls for a little bit.
Jim, how's it going?
Jim, what's on your mind, my friend?
Hi, Ken, did you ask them about their health care there? Were they happy with their health care? You should have asked one of them.
Can I tell you this, Jim? When I went there, everybody was smoking cigarettes and pot in the streets. I think their health care is great. They're not worried. So it's clearly better than ours.
But I called because of Todd Blanche, that the man supporting human rights all over the country. When you think about, will he look into the murders of ICE around the country? Will he look into the deaths in the prisons? The immigrants, 22 have died. They're force feeding them, which the last force feeding I recall, because I was involved in an IRA effort when Bobby Sands was being murdered by Maggie Thatcher. But, I mean, that goes back to about 1977. But think of this. We're force-feeding immigrants, innocent people with no criminal record, force-feeding them because Miller doesn't want an example of one of the immigrants dying on hunger strike, which might tip the balance toward sanity. But that's what we're dealing with. And this guy, of all people, and then 3 million. How many? What is with this Jeffrey Epstein? How many records are on one individual on this earth? I don't understand. 6 million, 7 million. I mean, what is with this guy? I mean, what is with this guy? And he hasn't prosecuted one person in the United States for this. Not one. But they've been prosecuted in Europe.
Yes.
But I know, but I mean, my point is, what is he going to do? He's going to in that fund.
Whatever Trump wants him to do.
What is he get a piece of paper with the $2 million slush or $2 billion slush fund? You think that Trump isn't going to keep that money? Are you kidding?
Of course. You know what? One of the senators has already said, I think yesterday or today, about how there's nobody that can rein in the president. The Congress has apparently relinquished their responsibilities, and I think that says it all.
And yeah.
I gotta run to the break, Jim.
Go ahead, guys.
All right, have a good night.
Have a good one, Jim.
You can have a last word.
No, I was just going to say, we sat here about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and I told you this administration is like being a kid in the backseat while your dad is drunkenly driving the car.
Yeah.
And you're looking at mom, and mom's like, it's okay. And you're like, I don't think this is exactly what it's like. Oh, okay, but this is not normal.
No,
this is not okay.
So long. I'm so tired.
Like, it's not okay. And he's driving the car, and he has dementia. He's a narcissist. He's a sociopath. He's a warmonger. Like, and no one can do anything.
And with that, let's take a break here and continue our conversation. Sorry. We're going to have artists in studio. Yay. Let's shift gears a little bit. We're going to talk to our friends Amos and Malachi Wright. And I'm hoping I said Amos's name right, but I will find out in a moment. They've completed a new mural at the front entrance of the Chicago Park District's Kennecott Fieldhouse, and we're going to learn more about the work that they're doing and reflecting on the impact of our Chicago Park Districts.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, more after this on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and Minocqua Brewing Company Substack, as well as our friends tuning in the future. You can catch all of our podcasts available at heartlandsignal.com, where you can also find all the great stories that our newsroom is catching, the stories that shape our democracy. More with Ken Mejia Beal, my Hump Day Honey, when we come back.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Cloudy skies tonight with scattered showers and thunderstorms. A low temperature of 69 with south winds at 5 to 10. Thursday, chance of showers early in the day. Otherwise cloudy with a high temperature of 76. Friday, slight chance of showers with a high temperature of 84. Saturday, sunny with a high of 82. Sunday, chance of thunderstorms with a high temperature around 83 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 77.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Joan Esposito, live, local, and progressive.
People who listen to WCPT, you are bright, you are interested, you are interesting, and you are well informed. It is a gift for me to be here, and I appreciate it every day. We obviously couldn't do this without you.
Joan Esposito, weekday afternoons 2 to 5 on WCPT 820.
Hey Progressives, it's Richard Chu, host of Chu's Views weekdays 6 to 8 a.m. Central. We're all anxious for the 2026 midterm election to arrive so we can restore some sanity and much-needed oversight to our government. In fact, it's the most important midterm election in American history, and Chu's Views will be in the thick of it, bringing you candidate interviews on a regular basis. I'll be talking to Democratic Party hopefuls running for House and Senate at the federal and state level, as well as candidates for governor and other state and local offices.
I am in love with our ability to fight for our rights, to fight for our future, to fight for our freedoms, to fight as our ancestors fought. It's just our moment. This is just our time to stand up and to speak up. We can't give up on this.
If you miss any of the interviews live, you'll be able to find them all on WCPT's Candidate Interviews page at heartlandsignal.com/candidates. That's Choose Views weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. on WCPT, Chicago's progressive talk for 20 years.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
Here's great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining me as we continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. We encourage you to subscribe and maybe share with your friends and family so they can join the conversation as well. Joining me in studio is my guest co-host, Ken Mejia Beal.
He's back.
He's my Hump Day honey.
That's right.
And he is the chair, the Midwest chair for the Victory Fund. Go to victoryfund.org and support the work that they do. We're very excited to introduce and welcome our guests in studio. Family of artist Marguerite Wright and her sons Amos and Malachi Wright are excited to announce that their new Harvey Wall of Therapy mural at Harvey City Hall will be completed this Sunday, August 9th. And they're inviting the Harvey community members to help them put the finishing touches on the mural for final paint day this Sunday, August 9th, noon to 5 p.m. And they're in studio with us right now. So those are some of the details of what's happening.
Yeah.
Amaz, did I come close to you saying your name correctly?
That was correct.
All right.
She got it.
You're right.
To be fair, I trip over everybody's name.
It happens at least twice an episode.
What was your name?
Right.
Took me about 3 weeks to get your name.
My name's Ken.
Mejia.
No,
Mejia.
it was the last name part.
Okay.
There you go. So tell us a little bit about yourselves. So Harvey, Illinois, which, by the way, I know comedian Tom Dreesen, who always championed the community. We recently lost, and but we know that there's such a tremendous heart in the community and a passion for neighbors. So, so who wants to talk first? Malachi, who's older?
What are the oldest. Yeah. I came out first. I'm 7,000.
7,000.
There you go.
There we go. So tell me a little bit about your family, because it sounds like art just runs through your experience and your upbringing.
Yeah, it does. So growing up, I got a chance to see my mom, put illustrations that she did on the wall, and then, she put a lot of paintings up in the house, and we would visit our auntie Gwenny in Detroit, and she had a lot of my mother's paintings and drawings up in her house too. So, being a boy, seeing that, it always fascinated me that, she was able to illustrate and draw like with the vibrant colors, and she did a lot of figure drawings and things that just really caught my attention. And then, as I got older, I was fascinated so much about her artwork that I would ask her to draw whatever could come to my mind. Usually it was like my favorite cartoon characters and stuff like that. And I began to actually show my friends at school when I was in like the 4th grade. And they liked them so much that they had requests for me. So I started, bringing my mom's, artwork to the school, and I started selling it, And when she found out I was selling her work at the school, she said, it's time for you to start doing your artwork. And she said, you got to start. And I was intimidated, to start drawing and really getting into it, But when she gave me that challenge, that pushed me ahead to go and do so, And the entire time, my brother Malachi was there, charging up, and he was growing as an artist, at the same rate, but he was just a little bit younger than me, I'm actually 29, so we, a few years apart, 5 years apart, and just that, even though we 5 years apart, we always felt, super close. Like I don't even remember us not being apart, if that makes sense.
It does.
That's
right.
Beautiful.
Oh, and how about yourself?
Yeah, as far as creating, that's something I've been doing my entire life, just being around my mom and Amaz, and even my dad. He's a carpenter. He passed away this past year, but, just growing up and going to work with him, he was very invested in his craft, so, working with your dad, he gonna get on you, you know what I'm saying? So we had that, you know what I'm saying? You're not moving fast enough, Malachi, you know what I'm saying? He getting on you, so we into it, and I think that drive to just be dedicated to something, seeing my mom dedicated to her craft and dedicated to providing for the family, my mom and my dad, it inspired me to be dedicated to creating, you know what I'm saying? And seeing Amaz, not just seeing him, but, sitting side by side with him, just drawing anything we see on the TV, on the internet. We searching up, SpongeBob, drawing SpongeBob. I don't know if y'all ever had the SpongeBob CD tape on the movie, but it was like a scene with Patrick with flat pass in the air, but it's his butt. And he got like a flag in his butt. But we used to be drawing that. And I don't know.
I need to rewatch SpongeBob.
We would just draw everything. You know what I'm saying? That's just to show you the crazy stuff we would just be drawing as kids. But that just grown into us drawing things that were way more meaning, like the murals that we're creating today. You know what I'm saying? Which are used to inspire and spread love. And I think growing up and doing that has led to so many opportunities like us being here today. I'm just truly grateful for the opportunity to create.
I love that. And murals, is such an expression of both the artist and a community, right? That's one of the things that I love driving around Chicago. And whenever I go to another city, I'm always fascinated by what kind of artwork they're sharing, what the community wants to bring forward. So from taking requests from your classmates for characters, what was do you remember what was your first mural? Because that's a lot. That's a whole different animal.
Right, it is. I would say even before my first mural, just driving through Chicago, in particular being on the east side of Chicago, for some reason, some of the street art and murals that I would see there grabbed my attention as I was growing up. I was always fascinated by them. I never knew how it was done. It almost felt like, seeing the sun or the moon in the sky, like how's it there? And then fast forward to 2017, I began to paint. I started painting then. And it was 2018, somewhere around that time, I did my first mural. One of my neighbors in Dixmoor, actually, she wanted a painting on her shed in her backyard. And she just wanted something red. She said, I just want something red there. So I painted this red woman on her shed. And, it felt very prophetic, being in that space. And the entire time I was painting the mural, there were these wasps flying in and out the shed. So I was just kind of giving them their breathing room and space, and it's I feel like I had a companion there with them, painting the mural. But it was a bit intimidating, considering there was walls. And I thought, after painting that mural, it wasn't my largest mural, but it felt like, man, if I could do this mural with the wasps coming in and out, I could do anything. It's no limit to it, And I guess fast forward to just recently, me and my brother got a chance to do one of our first large scale murals together, which was in L.A.
What?
Oh, wow,
it was in
L.A.
Crazy.
Yeah, I want Mally to actually tell more about how that project came about, because he actually was the spearhead behind that project. But that was this year.
Yeah, this year.
This year we painted this mural, and this was I want you to tell more about that one. Yeah.
Yes, but like Mozzie mentioned earlier, I started selling my work in 5th grade. You know what I'm saying? Just pencil and pen drawings. You know what I'm saying? Like Moz was doing, and fast forward, years and years, I started working with different organizations and different people. And this past April, me and Amaz were able to collaborate on a mural for Snoop Dogg's ice cream shop in Venice Beach.
That is
Bombay.
crazy.
So that was my first mural. I haven't done any murals prior to that. And honestly, I really just started painting this past December. I've been drawing my entire life, but a lot of the work I was creating was just pen and pencil. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really have too much. I didn't have too much space to create. I know Maz, he inspired me by creating that space for himself to, bring canvases into the house and start painting. So I looked at him and I always, was inspired, by his initiative to just make do of what he had in the space, setting no limitations on himself. And we were blessed with the opportunity to do this mural for Snoop Dogg.
How did that come about?
Blessing.
I was going to say.
The gift that you guys have is I can't even write in cursive. So this is mind-blowing to me right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But so in 2019, I did an album cover for Snoop Dogg. The album is I Want to Thank Me. So I was a junior in high school, and I created a painting of a whole bunch of Snoop Dogg's playing poker, and posted it on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah.
And within a few hours, Snoop Dogg seeing it, he commented under the picture, I want to make this my album cover. I'm not gonna lie, I was upstairs, I'm like, yo, my Snoop Dogg just commented under the picture, you know what I'm saying? I'm running downstairs, showing the family.
What?
This is crazy.
And mind you, a few months prior to this, I was on a Steve Harvey show, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things kind of going on in the same time frame. So Snoop ended up reaching out to me, we stayed in communication. He released the album a few months after that, and I was still in Chicago at the time. So in 2020, I graduated high school and I went to UCLA, so I moved to California. And when I moved to California, of course, I had Snoop's number already, so I reached out to him, I'm in Cali. I just did a new piece with him in it, and I got this new art piece. I sent it to him. He said I want it. We linked up, and really since then we've been developing a entire relationship where we've been working together. I've been growing close with his son. I've done a few projects with him. He invited me to come to the University of Bahamas with him on a grant that I received from him for an NFT collection that I created, and it was regarding West Coast hip hop and death row and whatnot. But we've just been collaborating on quite a few different projects throughout these past years, and it's been a blessing.
This is such I just pulled up the album cover, and it's just so dynamic. It's just so rich. I mean, everything from the light. I mean, I've seen it before, but then when you say, I'm like,
I'm a Snoop fan, so I don't even have to I know exactly what.
I don't have the image ready in my mind.
I got it.
But once I saw it, I was like, holy moly, that is so. I mean, like, and so when you see each other, I mean, like, it seems as though the energy you have for each other and like that creativity just sort of comes together as brothers. Like, what a beautiful just sort of path that you're on.
And I'll be, it'd be crazy if I didn't mention, like, we got other siblings, our brother Ira. They should be here, you know what I'm saying? Because our brother Ira actually helped us paint the mural, So that, if
all
you look,
of them.
All the murals that we have, all the murals we painted, he's been a part of. He just wasn't able to be here now because he's in LA right now, but he's been a part of all the murals. And my sister Moya, she's super supportive. She's like a second mother to me sometimes, to be honest. Like, her support is astronomical. My sister Leah, who's super supportive, and my oldest brother Ben, he actually helped us land a mural opportunity. We did a mural for a dispensary called New Era Dispensary in Harvey.
And for him, in his house.
And I painted one for him in his house in Oklahoma as well. So that's my first mural outside of the state in Oklahoma, right here in his house. I painted his dog Jason that passed away. Yeah. So the family, our siblings dynamic it's a lot of strength amongst all of us working together, and supporting one another. And it just we fortunate, me and Malachi, to be sitting right here before you all and having this conversation, and it's beautiful. It
is.
I've been trying to have this conversation with my family because my son is a writer, and it's hard to explain, like, when you can do what you love and have people appreciate it and want you to do more of it. I mean, like, there's no better feeling. I mean, I can't imagine.
It's out this world. I'm learning more about it myself. Just recently, I started a family of my own. I've been married going on 4 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. My wife, she's actually outside right now listening to it on the radio. So.
She's like outside in the car?
Outside. She wanted to listen to it in the radio in the car. So her and my daughters, they out there now. And I just say,
they could come in the station now. They can come in if they want.
They can come in now?
Yeah, they could come in before.
Would they be able to listen to it?
I think there's a speaker.
We pump it through the whole.
Is it loud enough in the conference room?
It sure is.
Yes. Let's take a break here and welcome your family into the conference. I mean, they can come in the studio, but they want to hear. They don't want to hear you live. They don't want to hear you in the room. They want to hear the whole thing.
Okay.
So let's go get them in.
Yeah, gas is expensive. Let's turn the car off and bring them in.
Let's do it.
We are in studio. My Hump Day Honey is joining me, Ken Mejia Beal, and we're hanging out with Amaz and Malachi Wright. Again, they've completed a new mural at the front entrance of the Chicago Park District's Kennecott Fieldhouse, and we'll talk more about this event coming up on Sunday. This Sunday, August 9th, you can come and help out and put the finishing touches on their work. Be a part of it. Be a legacy with them. And again, I'm so thrilled to have you guys in studio. Let's get the family in there.
Let's go get them.
More after this on WCPT, KKNW, and all of our friends tuning in digitally. We're so grateful.
Progressive knows you've got plenty of things to worry about.
The only thing my brother and I have accomplished together is...
How long has that check engine light been on? Are takeout containers microwave safe?
So the last thing you should have to worry about is what to do if something unexpected happens on the road. That's why if you're ever in a major accident, Progressive's accident response can detect it and send help. It's just one less thing to worry about.
How long does chicken last in the fridge?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
If you're purchasing a new home and working with Rocket Mortgage, listen very closely. Carly, 54, first-time home buyer, income 65 G's a year, contacted Rocket Mortgage for a mortgage. Rocket locked her into a 25-year fixed FHA loan at 6.125%, which sounds great until I reviewed Rocket's loan documents. Carly didn't know Rocket placed her into a 25-year fixed loan, not a 30-year fixed loan like she wanted. Carly also didn't know Rocket Mortgage charged her over $5,000 to lower her rate. I explained why I thought it wasn't in her financial best interest to buy down the rate, and that's why Team Hochberg, not Rocket Mortgage, will be helping Carly with her mortgage. Let's review. Rocket Mortgage placed Carly into a loan she didn't want and didn't understand why Rocket charged her to secure a lower rate. If you want to work with a lender you can trust, give us a call now at 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com, 855-563-2843 or visit our website, 56david.com. Atlantic Coast Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 643114.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
To this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or
and Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle. All of our friends who are tuning in digitally, we're so grateful for all of you. My Hump Day Honey and I are so thrilled to welcome our guests in studio.
I am having the best, like this
what
is
just
having
happened?
the best day ever.
Hi, thank you for coming. How did we sound on the radio? Did we sound okay? Sounds good?
Good.
All right. You're doing a good job. Hi, sweetie. Hi, ladies. How are you doing? Good to see you, young ones. Oh, my goodness. Amaz has brought his family in studio. Do you want to introduce your family to everybody?
Yeah, so I got my wife Raquel in the studio with us, my daughter Soraya, and my youngest Nora. We all here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nora's like, I got nothing to say.
Got nothing to say?
No.
Which is fair.
Yeah, it's totally
That's fair.
How's Uncle Malachi doing with all these?
I love my babies.
I mean, come on.
all his babies.
Does Uncle Malachi treat you okay? Is he a fun uncle? Yeah. Is he a fun uncle?
I don't.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I was
Yeah.
nervous.
Well, we're here to talk about how great your uncle and your dad are at the work, and your whole family, the artists who are participating in this incredible event this Sunday, August 9th. The Amaz and Malachi Wright are excited to announce their new Harvey Wall of Therapy mural at Harvey City Hall, and it's going to be completed. And they invite you to come and join them, the members of the Harvey community, to put the finishing touches. So tell us about this this mural. Who wants to? Where did the concept come from? And was there like the community of Harvey put out an announcement that we're looking for artists to add to the artwork in the community?
And that's crazy how loaded that question is. Like, how did it start? And I think that's what makes art so beautiful, how the depths of all the layers. I would say the idea really started right in our backyard. The concept of the wall of therapy was this idea to find a meeting point where, even if you were there by yourself, you feel like somebody was there with you. And you can, like, have a conversation. So we had, like, in our backyard, like, there's an alleyway where people sometimes will come drive through and dump trash. So eventually the city had to barricade that part of the alley, and they put like a cement block wall there. And, one day I was kind of moving through a transitional point in my life and figuring things out, and I just felt like this urge to want to create a mural. And when I saw the cement wall behind the house, I said, you know what, I'll just paint something here. And that's when we did the first wall of therapy right there behind the house. And that evolved to us having an opportunity. Not long after, we painted a mural in Washington Park called the Washington Park Wall of Therapy at Burke Elementary School. They have a community garden. And we dedicated the wall to a community activist named Lorenzo Young, who did a lot, to help Burke Elementary School. He was known to be like a master storyteller. And he also took care of the garden that was right there at Burke Elementary School. So after he passed, we painted a mural in his honor. We call it the Washington Park Wall of Therapy, So now being here in Harvey, this actually stemmed from us donating a mural to Restoration Ministries, which is right on Broadway. They have a location called the Harvey Boxing Club. And there we actually worked with LaRoyce Hawkins, who's an actor on Chicago
Fire, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
So
she would know.
That's cool.
No, yes, go ahead. Yeah,
so
he's a very handsome man.
That's his brother right there in the studio with us.
I've played a nurse on several episodes, and he's really so much fun. And I mean, like the cast and crew. At any rate, I just have nothing but kind words to say for everybody.
That's beautiful.
Nurse.
If
Yeah.
it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be sitting right here because he actually opened up the door for us to paint that wall with Restoration Ministries.
I love this.
And we painted the. We collabed with him, and we brought like 5 artists on to paint the boxing club. And then, that was in 2020 when we painted that wall, and we donated that wall, so that was special for us. And the opportunity where we was able to be a part of this project, where Restoration Ministries received a grant from Cook County, an arts grant. So the intent, from what we learned, was actually to restore the mural that we painted, since it was a donated project. The plastering on the wall didn't really work out. It's old brick from like the 1800s, so
wow,
it's kind of falling apart, so to say, So right now, the original plan was to actually restore that mural, and then the opportunity opened up for us to paint the City Hall building. And that's when really, I would say, everything expanded for us. We learned that a lot of like historical murals are painted on City Hall building. So we was like, wow, we actually may end up in the textbooks one day, just.
Oh, I think that's
definitely.
I think that's already.
Yeah, that is definitely going to happen.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
And so, how long did this process take for putting this together?
Man, we actually met with Restoration Ministries initially in November of 2025. We actually it was some negotiating that went on, and we didn't actually land the agreement with Restoration Ministries until the start of July. So it took a while for us to start of June. Yeah, so it started June. We actually got everything confirmed, and then we found out from Cook County that we have to finish the mural before August 31st. So it's been some crunching going on for us. And Mally, he's out there in LA now, so he flew out from LA, and just that timeline itself was a lot. In January, I had another meetup with Restoration Ministries to secure everything, and I actually ended up getting in a car accident and leaving the mural. So that was tough. Me and my wife, we lost a vehicle in the car accident.
No. Sorry about that.
I appreciate that. And I was, at the time, working at Thornton Township High School, teaching a program called Graphic Communication. So between, landing this mural opportunity, teaching the high schoolers, and getting in that car accident, there's just been a lot going on within the past. Yeah. But I feel like this is like my Kanye through the wire moment, for real, to be able to put this artwork on the wall and then to be working right here with my brother Malachi is huge. I got my family here with me in the studio. We just missing Mom. I wish Mom was able to make it here with us, but I'm sure she's listening.
That means
right
you
now.
have to come back and bring Mom. That's all that means.
Yeah, we got to come back.
You got to come back.
Yeah. Mom's had a dentist appointment today, so she had to make sure those straight.
Man. Yeah. Well, before we, because I'm so grateful to have you, and I don't want to let you go, but I have, I'm already late, but it's okay. Sorry, Lady B. Can I be late? Can I be a little bit late?
She can't say no now.
I have one more question. I want to ask about the field house, the Kennecott field house, and the Park District relationship that you guys have as well. Because I think that Park District has impacted so many of our lives in Chicago.
Right.
So another wonderful part of your legacy too.
Yeah, and that moment right there was huge for us. I have a friend named Darian Boyd that it was really his vision to bring a mural to the Kennecott field house, and he reached out to me to help bring a vision to life. And he really, wanted to see something that highlighted the activities they do up there at Kennecott, and we was able to bring our family in to use them as a reference point to showcase family in the community.
Folks, look for their work everywhere around you, it seems, because I think we're going to be able to enjoy so much more of what you bring to the communities.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope that Los Angeles doesn't call you back, but it sounds like you're kind of going back and forth.
I'm in school right now. I'm getting my master's.
Congratulations.
At the collegiate level. So once I'm done, hopefully I'm teaching at a school here. I would love to do that. And I want to work with you, so let's do it.
I love it. Well, we'd love to have you back, please. We want to talk more about
definitely come back.
Doing. Yeah. Again, this Sunday at the Harvey Wall of Therapy mural at Harvey City Hall, completed this Sunday with your help. They're inviting our friends Amaz and Malachi Wright are inviting you to help put the finishing touches on the mural for final paint day from noon to 5 p.m. And thank you to your family for coming and hanging out with you as well. Really a pleasure to meet you both. Thank you. We'll be back with Jared Plogger when we come back. Am I saying his name correctly too?
I hope so.
Do you see?
I hope so.
Thank you both. More after this, and thank you, Lady B. Sorry I'm so late, but it happens. More in a moment. Bye. Sorry. That was fantastic.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
AP News, I'm Mike Hempen. Iran and Oman have moved closer to an agreement on the Strait of Hormuz. This comes after President Trump said a deal to reopen the critical waterway could be announced soon. The strait's closure has driven up global fuel prices. The state of New Mexico has sued the Department of Justice and Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, saying the federal government has blocked it from carrying out its own investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's sex crimes. New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres says the state seeks intervention from a judge in Washington, D.C., saying Todd Blanche is stonewalling a criminal investigation into Epstein's activities at the Zorro Ranch.
We have been forced to file an action against the United States Department of Justice and Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche for their continued refusal to provide unrestricted and unredacted access to the complete Epstein file.
The November midterms will pose a key test for progressives after a major battleground primary win.
Abdul El-Sayed is Michigan's Democratic Senate nominee after narrowly winning a bruising fight with what progressive leader Bernie Sanders calls the most extraordinary win in modern American party politics.
He took on the national Democratic establishment.
Now he has to unite Democrats in a state key to retaking the Senate majority and beat the GOP's Mike Rogers to claim the seat of retiring Democrat Gary Peters, who says El-Sayed has to immediately start reaching out to fellow Democrats.
Which he assured me will happen.
Top Senate Republican John Thune says the GOP's now in a pretty good spot in Michigan.
This is the extreme radical choice.
Sagar Meghani, Washington.
This is AP News. There has been a big collision in outer space.
Scientists say they're certain a SpaceX rocket has slammed into the moon. Astrophysicist Jonathan McDowell is one of the scientists monitoring the Falcon 9 rocket that launched last year. The rocket
is now in teeny little pieces scattered over the surface of the moon near Einstein Crater.
McDowell says the rocket did its job within a few hours of launch.
Batteries ran out. It's been a dead hunk of 4 tons of metal ever since, just orbiting under gravity.
A telescope in Chile spotted what astronomers have identified as the debris plume resulting from the high-speed crash.
I would imagine that the U.S. Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, which is a huge spy camera in low orbit around the moon, will eventually spot a mark on the moon where the rocket hit.
SpaceX says it's working with NASA to avoid any further lunar littering. I'm Ed Donahue.
I'm Mike Hempen, AP News.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Cloudy skies tonight with scattered showers and thunderstorms. A low temperature of 69 with south winds at 5 to 10. Thursday, chance of showers early in the day, otherwise cloudy with a high temperature of 76. Friday, slight chance of showers with a high temperature of 84. Saturday, sunny with a high of 82. Sunday, chance of thunderstorms with a high temperature around 83 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 75.
This is Richard Chew with something to chew on. It's curious to watch the hypocrisy of Senate Republicans interrogate Dr. Fauci, an 85-year-old career medical veteran who, by all measure, helped steer our country through one of the most dangerous public medical crises in years. But of course, every one of the GOP members of the Senate Homeland Security Committee and those in the GOP corporate media decided to show their political bias and stupidity by going all in and threatening Dr. Fauci with jail time and all the rest, because he decided to exercise his right of using the Fifth Amendment. Newsflash, GOP hypocrites, your boy, Donald Trump, used the same right nearly 500 times in his New York fraud testimony. But you fools have short memories. So if Dr. Fauci needs to be in jail for his use, so does Donald Trump. I'm just exercising my First Amendment right to free speech.
Richard Chew, weekday mornings at 6 on WCPT 820.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing ass says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle and KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. And hello to all of our friends who are tuning in digitally, including Facebook, YouTube, and now Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. And of course, we have all of our podcasts available at heartlandsignal.com, where you'll find our incredible newsroom catching the stories that shape our democracy. So please make sure that you are involved, engaged, and informed. And joining me in studio is my wonderful hump day honey, Ken Mejia Beal joins us. Ken, you and I had a wonderful first hour, and I have a good feeling about our second hour.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this next guest. He's someone that I have been a supporter of, and something my grandmother used to say is sometimes life's rejection can be God's protection. And I was very disappointed when the primary didn't go this way. So then when everything unfolded the way it has, I am super excited for our next guest, who will be running for state senate, Jared Plogger.
Jared, welcome to the show. How are you doing this evening, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
So, I have this running joke.
Oh, God.
It's actually pronounced Ploger, but I always tell people, don't worry, I've been called worse.
That's fair. Well, coming from Ken Mejia Beal, who's been called Ken Mejia Beal, I totally...
Yeah, you're good.
I totally get it. How are you doing, my friend?
Busy, but
good.
That's supposed to be the answer. So we are very busy.
Well, let's talk a little bit about. So, the reason I fell in love with your campaign from the beginning is because I believe we need more educators in Springfield and Washington.
Yes.
So can you talk to our listeners a little bit about your background?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
So I always start off with the family. I've got two sons, and my wife is a Spanish teacher. So mi esposa es maestra de español. Mi hijo menor hablando y escribiendo y leyendo en español y inglés.
Bien.
Mi español es malo. So lo siento. For those that don't know, my youngest son is fully bilingual and biliterate, and I wake up every day in a multilingual, multi-generational, racial and cultural household. That's me. And as somebody who grew up in a single-parent household, I love it. And I teach at Bolingbrook High School. I've been there for 7 years, one of the most diverse high schools in the state of Illinois.
It is.
And I teach 11th and 12th graders social justice and U.S. history.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I love it. I'm also a union leader there. I'm the Valley View Council president with 1,700 members, as well as the AFT Local 604 vice president and senator, and actually served on the school board on the other side, Oswego School District from 2015 to 2019. I had to leave. My wife had a brain tumor, so we had to deal with that. And then they asked me to come back. And so I served again from 2022 to 2025. And you mentioned the other race. It was a great feeling when I approached the teachers in Oswego and said, hey, I'm doing this. And their answer was, how can we help you? Realizing I was on the other side of some of those negotiations, that's a good feeling, because I always try to, take care of our people, our students, our young people, educators. it's a passion of mine for sure.
Yeah, I agree with Ken that more educators, more people that, believe in, the truth and facts and things like that. I know it's very novel in some circumstances. So tell folks who might not be familiar with the district, and for those who are in the district, I mean, a lot of folks might be tuning in, and sometimes at the top of the ballot is the attention, well, not sometimes, it's always the attention grabber.
The attention grabber, yeah.
So, state.
But folks, flip that ballot over and work your way up, but continue.
Well, because on this ballot, it'll be, the governor, it'll be the secretary of state, the treasurer, the controller. You'll have, I don't know what. So Bolingbrook, what else is going to be on the ballot for folks? Are there other municipal races, or I think it's all state races?
It's
right
all
now.
State races because we don't do that here in Illinois.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So the 42nd is actually part of Kane. It's about 40% of it is Kane County, and then there's a portion that's DuPage, Kendall, and Will as well. And Aurora dominates, a good portion of it. But you're also talking St. Charles, Geneva, Batavia, North Aurora, Yorkville, Sugar Grove, Oswego, Montgomery, Naperville, and a real small portion that has Plainfield address, but for the most part connected with some of those other school districts, other areas. So it's a very diverse area, which is very exciting.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about, is there an incumbent or is this an open race?
Yeah, so Linda Holmes held the seat.
I see where we are.
So
I'm locked in.
Yeah,
okay.
She's stepping down, and so county chairs got together and they chose me.
As they should have.
No, I appreciate that. I do. Thank you.
So it has been held. So it's exciting because we don't often. Well, we do. I mean, there are situations where maybe you're challenging an incumbent who's on the other side of the aisle. Yeah. Or sometimes, I thankfully, the senator has decided to, serve out her term. A lot of people step down in the middle of their term and get involved in the appointment process. So what I'm saying is it's great that this community has the opportunity to hear where someone's coming from.
Yes.
Applying for this job and making the argument.
Yes.
So for folks, who are interested in, first of all, what inspired you to jump into this race? I mean, I know that they chose you, but presumably you presented.
I want to say this because I want to be very clear about this, and Jared, I hope you don't mind, because
No,
I don't want it to have a negative connotation. Jarrett stepped up to run for the representative seat that was vacated by Stephanie Kifowit, who was running for comptroller.
Okay.
So his name ID is out there. I just wanted to be clear that he's not someone that was waiting to swoop in from the wings. He actually ran.
Right.
And that primary didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. But then when this position opened up, he put his name in the hat again. And the county chairs did the right thing and made sure that his name will be on the ballot. So now, Jared, you can go. I just wanted that to be clear.
So let me be clear.
Sure.
So Linda Holmes, Senator Holmes, didn't announce that she was stepping down until after the primaries? I'm trying to figure out the
correct.
That is correct.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure our timeline is succinct.
Yeah, no, I remember. I'm just, me too.
Yeah, okay. No,
that helps
got
me.
it.
Yes.
I'm here for you, Jared.
Having been on
I appreciate you.
Yeah, having been in the inside of this process on the northwest side of Chicago, it's also hard to pull the curtain back for everybody.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
So the committee people chose you and are making sure that you get on the ballot.
Yes.
What made you decide to run in the first place for Representative Kifowit's seat? What made you decide to take on this challenge?
Yeah, I always start with my family, and as I stated earlier, I have a multi-generational household, and my son and his fiance actually officiating their wedding in September, and my grandson. I call myself young grandpa, just so we're clear, but we all are in the same household. And my son gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning. He's working every day. He's a land surveyor, and he's struggling. Right, what was considered a livable wage, decades ago, is not a livable wage anymore. Mm-hmm. And so, I see the affordability piece front and center. My poor mother has also had to, unfortunately, bury my two brothers over the last 6 years, and she battles dementia. Thank you. And she battles dementia, and so I'm in charge of that portion of the family as well at this point. And I see how far. My mom was a school teacher in a small town, right? First one in our family to obtain a college education. and I see how far that pension goes and how far it doesn't go. And I see the healthcare costs just whittling away what she has. And those are, to me, calls to action. And for those that don't know about me, my story kind of begins in the political arena. I saved our dual language program here in Oswego. We had a board that was going to actually dismantle a dual language program.
That's insane.
Wow.
And I said, this can't happen again. So one of the things we did, I didn't do it alone, we did was we expanded it. And now it is a crucial aspect of our community. And I see that community growing. I see infrastructure needs. I see affordability pieces that are needed. And I see the cost of healthcare. And I think it's upon me, as a member of this family, to make sure doing right by our young people, and our most vulnerable.
Amazing.
And that's important. And I also want to touch on something that you mentioned, livable wages. And something that I talk to folks about, and I think you'll be able to relate to me, is so many people look at how much you bring in and say you should be able to live on that versus how much you put out. And I don't think a lot of folks realize how much debt our young people are in, for one, how much debt our seniors are in due to medical expenses. So even if you can bring in quote unquote enough, it doesn't mean it's livable, because your output, or as I like to say, your DTR, your debt to income, is upside down. How are you advocating for livable wages and explaining it in a way that folks that, I'm trying to be polite here, folks that don't budget and kind of make a lot of money can understand what the folks on our side are going through?
Yeah. And, I think anytime you use the word, tax, I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and says, I love taxes, right? I mean, none of us do, right? No. I mean, I think anybody's waking up saying, yay. But, part of my message is, we need to reduce, because multiple things can be true at the same time, right? So we need to reduce those regressive taxes, but we need to increase progressive revenues.
Correct.
And that's kind of been the central piece of my campaign, whether you're talking about the millionaire tax or perhaps even some, ways to get around having those conversations about what a livable wage is, and perhaps getting around that flat tax that we have, so that, we're talking about how do we bring tax relief, right, to our lower classes. Because in the last 40 years in my lifetime, we've actually seen a huge increase in the upper class. They've grown in numbers. The problem is we've also seen that increase in the lower classes. And what I think a lot of the conversation that gets missed with many of our folks in the middle class is they're being asked to take on those burdens of making sure that we have the necessities that we need more and more. And less is coming from those upper classes that are growing. And it's just not sustainable long term. And I think that's what we're experiencing, and that's what we're seeing. And I think, plans for things like millionaire tax, they have to include like a plan. I think people at this point want to know, where's that money going towards, right?
Yes.
Is it, funding schools, infrastructure specifically, but also, property tax relief too, because we have property owners who are a part of that lower class, to what you were talking about in that debt ratio, and they need relief too.
Yes.
And like I said, multiple things can be true at the same time.
Absolutely. And the way you just explained it was, thank you for being very candid and honest with your answer. It is hard to talk about money. And nobody, you're right. No one likes having higher taxes. But the reality is, and I say this as a person who, is, I guess, middle class today, might not be 3 months from now, depending on what happens. If I have to pay more for something, I'm kind of cool with it if you can explain to me what I'm paying for.
And people say this over,
just tell me.
And
what's happening.
People say this over and over again. We went through this with the Bring Chicago Home on the ballot during the mayoral election. It was the Mayor Johnson initiative was Bring Chicago Home.
Yes.
Let's take a break here and continue our conversation with Jared Ploger, I believe is how you say it.
She got it.
You got it.
I had to tell myself not jogger, joger. Joger's not a thing, but it's because the double G would be plogger, I think. I don't know. I have to work these things out in my head. We're talking to Jared Ploger. I just had it. See?
It's happening.
Jared Ploger, who is running to be the next
state senator, District 42,
which includes Aurora, North Aurora, Oswego, St. Charles, and Yorkville. Let's talk more about this race and the responsibilities of our state legislatures, because really the most harm and the most good can be done by your local elected officials. More with our Hump Day Honey, Ken Mejia Beal. And thank you to our sponsors, Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to pridecoffeeroasters.com and put in an order for some of the best single origin roasted to order coffee beans you have ever had. Go to pridecoffeeroasters.com and you can find out where they'll be next, including the Jefferson Park Sunday Market this Sunday from 9:30 to 1:30 at Jefferson Park proper. But they'll be in studio with me tomorrow, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you to our friends at Source Solar. Go to source.solar, make an appointment with Peter Sorellis. Maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house or business, and he'll walk you through that entire process. Plus, he's partnered with Illinois Solar for All, so you can help with your financing right there. Source.solar. And, of course, Minocqua Brewing Company, our longest sponsor for the Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez show. Hello to everyone tuning in on Substack with Minocqua Brewing Company. Please go to MinocquaBrewingCompany.com and maybe put in an order for the best West Coast IPA you've ever had. It's Fascist Tears. They're delicious. More after this on WCPT, KKNW, KTNF, and everywhere digitally.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Latinos have been here always, before, during, and after the founding of the United States. We are small business owners, teachers, farm workers, doctors and engineers, families raising the next generation. Latinos contribute over $4 trillion to America's GDP. We are an indelible part of the American story. We are America. America is us. Learn more by going to americasus.org and discover how Latinos have shaped America's past and are forging its future.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this. Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
No detours, no distractions. Just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home. Joining me in studio is my hump day honey, Ken Mejia Beal. His choice of title, in case you're wondering if I'm objectifying him.
I don't mind being objectified.
Saying,
I don't listen. Let me just be really honest. I think it's silly when people spend multiple hours in the gym and then complain about being. I'm in the gym to be objectified. Objectify me is what I'm here for.
Excellent. I'm not participating in it, but I embrace it.
Yeah, objectify me. Go for it. I don't care.
Ken Mejia Beal is the Midwest chair for the Victory Fund. Go to victoryfund.org to learn more about the work that they do and support them in their mission. We also have on the line with us Jeremy Ploger, who's Jared Ploger. I can only get one name right at a time, Jared. I just want you to know that right now. Ploger.
I'm also used to being called Jerry all the time, so that's okay.
Jared Ploger, who is running for Illinois State Senate District 42, including areas of Aurora, North Aurora, Oswego, St. Charles, and Yorkville. We were talking about how if you're going to collect my taxes, I'm the same way. Like I don't know. I don't get my panties in a bunch about.
Yeah, just tell me what is going to.
Yes,
and I think for the better, and I think that's what separates progressives from others, is if it's going to my own betterment and the betterment of my community, let's do it. If it's going to my detriment and the detriment of my community, then yeah, I hate that my tax dollars go to like ICE. Like that's not helping anybody.
And bombs and
stuff. But yeah, if it's going to healthcare, if it's going to fixing our streets, keeping violent criminals in jail longer, I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jared, to that, you were talking about, like people want to know what it's going to. We attempted a progressive tax. Pritzker doesn't seem to have any hunger for that because it didn't do well in the last go around in 2020. We have in this state of Illinois since 1979 the wealth, the ability for the top 10% to and their income has gone up over 110%, and for the rest of us, it's gone up like 9%. What are some of the things that you see as a way to narrow that gap, to elevate and
equalize it?
Yeah, for the working class, the middle class, those of us who are just trying to afford a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, as I alluded to before, right? You had the millionaire tax, but I also think there's a way for us to start having conversations about tax rebates. Right. So can we bring some tax relief? Because, having a flat tax and raising it, that's going to be much more harmful for, our lower 20% as opposed to the higher 20%. Mm-hmm. And I would say those 10% from 1979 now are really 20%. Right. But I also think there's a way for us to I'm somebody who always tries to take some lemons and turn them into lemonade. Right. And, is there a way for us to work with, some of our private sector industry when it comes to increasing our power potential? Obviously, I'm somebody who wants to turn that as green as possible. But I think Illinois has such a, unique advantage and an ability here to become a net positive when it comes to, green energy. And I think that would also help lower costs for people. And especially if we get to a point where we're an energy exporter of some of that. Oh my gosh. I'm somebody who thinks let's think big, realistic, but let's think big at the same time, because I think we do have a huge advantage here and we just aren't taking advantage of it. Some of that is because of past mistakes, but we have to progress, right? And move on.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So for folks who live in the Rootin' Tootin' State Senate District 42.
Rootin' Tootin'. Okay.
The fighting 42nd. Sorry, well, I apparently haven't done that for you before. This is when I talk about. I live in the Rootin' Tootin'.
I was like, when did we segue into Oklahoma? What is happening?
I live in the Rootin' Tootin' 19th legislative state house seat.
Okay,
and I believe we're the 10th Senate seat. I don't know. I'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
At any rate, tell folks of your district. Let's give you a minute to make your speech, your pitch to the
elevator
voters,
pitch, Jared. Let's do it.
The voters of the 42nd.
Yeah, I'm Jared Ploger, and I would love to have your votes. As somebody who's been connected into all four of these counties, born in Kane County. My wife and I were born in Kane County. and live and work in Will County, both of us. Lived in DuPage, worked in DuPage, served office in Cadville, Kane, and Will. Very connected with the community. I'm here to, make sure that we are holding on and fully funding our awesome schools that we have in this district, because we have a lot of high-performing schools. And I'm also here to make sure that we've got infrastructure needs for our growth and embrace diversity, because that's what the 42nd is. And it's like I said, let's progress.
I love it, and I want to thank you for taking the challenge to serve your community and to. I forgot to ask you this before we go. Have you been to Springfield during your legislative session?
So I have done some advocacy work down there, due to my union leadership, and it's a fascinating place.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. Well, I wish you the very best. Do you have any events coming up? And tell folks about your socials, your website.
Yes, please.
How they can support your campaign.
Yeah, www.jaredforillinois.com. We do have a fundraiser coming up in Geneva at Preservation on August 27th, and you can go to our Facebook site, Jared for Illinois. And I'm really excited because we're doing this Honor the Donor, which is kind of honoring our small donors. We've raised over $4,000 since we announced, which is about a month ago.
Awesome.
And it's also a way to honor my brother as well, who was an organ donor. So it's kind of like a dual piece. And hey, even $5. Hey, $5. We've got a few in there, and I love them. And we celebrate with permission. I want to do positive, so we honor a different donor every single day.
Oh, fantastic.
That is awesome. And thank you for running and doing all that you do. And I am just very happy and proud to be a huge supporter of yours.
Ken, it's great to talk to you again. Yes. And I appreciate you. And thank you for having us.
Anytime. Anytime.
Well, I look forward to watching this race. I wish you the very best. I got a good feeling. I got a good feeling.
I got a good feeling too.
I got a good feeling about this.
I kind of like this guy.
I appreciate that.
We like you, Jared.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anytime you need to let us know about.
You know how to find me, Jared.
Yeah, you know how to find Ken.
All right.
All right. We'll talk
I'll
to you
remember
again.
that. I'll remember that. Thank you.
My best to your family. Have a great night.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. You too. Let's take a break here and continue our conversation on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Hello to all of our friends who are tuning in digitally, because you can see our happy, shiny faces right there on Facebook, YouTube, and Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. Our number is 773-763-9278. That's 773-763-9278. If you want to join the conversation by calling or texting us, we would love to hear from you. I'll take your calls in a moment.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Cloudy skies tonight with scattered showers and thunderstorms. A low temperature of 69 with south winds at 5 to 10. Thursday, chance of showers early in the day, otherwise cloudy with a high temperature of 76. Friday, slight chance of showers with a high temperature of 84. Saturday, sunny with a high of 82. Sunday, chance of thunderstorms with a high temperature around 83 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 75.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Today alone, 5,370 people in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer. That's why Stand Up to Cancer funds and develops the newest and most promising cancer treatments. Stand Up to Cancer wants to provide you with every opportunity to join in this mission. By donating your home, land, or commercial property, you can help Stand Up to Cancer fund innovative cancer research. Stand Up to Cancer makes the process easy, and it may be tax deductible. Visit standuptocancer.org/giveproperty to learn more.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Vasquez is taking your calls now.
All right, let's hit it.
At 773-763-9278.
I got a lot to say.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, and our friends who are tuning in digitally, including Facebook, YouTube, and Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. Joining me in studio is our wonderful Hump Day honey, Ken Mejia Beal, who's
great to be here.
Fresh off a trip from Amsterdam.
Can't wait to go to bed. No, I'm joking. I feel great.
You have your pin already. And when are you going to New Orleans next?
I don't know yet. I would love to go in February of next year. I'm going to.
Mardi Gras?
I want to go to Mardi Gras. I'm going to Palm Springs in November. So I'm trying to stay out of Chicago as much as I can from November through March.
I hear you.
But I'll be back every Wednesday. You guarantee it.
That's right.
You guarantee it.
I appreciate it. I'm going on probably a family trip. I'm hoping we're going back and forth on whether it's going to be before or after Labor Day.
It should be after because I'm already prepared for it.
I think so too, but it depends on the family situation.
And then you'll get to drive it home with Ken Mejia Beal and a guest.
And a guest host, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting week.
We should probably figure those folks out. We'll figure it all out.
We're going to talk about it off air and then announce it at the end of August.
Yeah. And I mostly want to travel because as we head into September, as we head into October and early November, we've got a lot of elections going on around the country. Yeah. We just got off the phone with our guest, Jared Ploger, who is running for state senate. We were talking
District
about
42.
District 42. We were talking about issues that are important to a lot of folks, and a listener called in. He wants to talk about taxes.
Let's do it.
It's Greg from Oak Park. What's on your mind, Greg?
Hello, Greg.
Hi, Patti.
Hey.
Great to hear from you. My name is Greg Kenster. I was a revenue auditor for the state of Illinois for 30 years. And I become unhappy when people talk about just tax the rich. It's not how it works. And before you think I'm a Republican or real right wing, I support Mr. Ford for representative.
LaShawn Ford?
Yeah, LaShawn Ford. He's a friend of mine. He works real hard, and the reason I support him is because I've been in his office, and he works with the indigent and the poor people, and he's in there every day, and he's got a real efficient operation. Mm-hmm. And also, so he delivers service. So that's why I'm with him. But when people come in, they want to get elected. They say, well, we're just going to raise the taxes on the rich. And then they say, well, what is it for? Well, for schools, the income tax doesn't pay for schools.
Nope.
Property tax.
The whole country is.
So you gotta be, and then, okay, well, I want it for the police. Well, income tax doesn't pay for the police. The sales tax and the local tax, the town tax pays for the police. So people have been hearing the same mantra, and I'm 75 years old. I've been hearing it my whole life. And it's just not true.
What's not true?
It works. You can't just take the rich and solve these problems that are not paid for by income tax.
Well, can I ask you a question, Greg?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you believe that the wealthiest 20% are paying their fair share?
As far as income tax, I think they pay about 60% of the income tax. The top 1% pays 60% of the income tax. Is that correct?
Is that in Illinois or in the country?
I just meant in Illinois.
The country. And then as far as, I have personal experience. I audited. When you start out as an auditor, you start with small manufacturers and grocery stores and restaurants. And then I ended up doing the airlines and the banks and, the biggest companies. And I even audited Warren Buffett, and he's got about half a dozen companies. And even though Illinois is not as oppressive as, or they don't have as much tax, however you want to put it, as New York or California or New Jersey. Businesses do leave. I watched them leave over use tax and workman's comp, and that's been happening. They say, we're just going to raise the tax. The rest of them will leave. That's just a fact of life.
I think that look, I don't have all the information in front of me. I will say that the fact that the number that you threw out there, that the wealthiest pay 60% of the taxes federally is close. However, the percentage of their income that they pay, like let's say it's according to the White House study, the wealthiest 400 billionaire families in the U.S. paid an average federal income tax rate, federal individual tax rate of 8.2%, meaning that people who earn less are paying a bigger percentage of their income, and which means that it impacts them more significantly than it would somebody who is has $1 billion. 8%. I mean, if we tax them 40% of $1 billion, and it's not like 40% of the billion, it's over a certain percentage. At any rate, I just wanted to push back a little bit. And the other thing is, I think that it's not often well communicated, as Jared and Ken were talking about, is like when we had the progressive tax, the fair tax on the ballot in 2020, there wasn't that sort of like, they tried to explain it was going to lower your property tax, it was going to lower the income tax for some under a certain percentage. So I think there's the problem is when Ken mentioned this earlier, it's accurate. Talking about money is stressful.
Yes.
Right? So talking about taxes, when Governor Rauner won, he won by, I think he got 72% of the vote of Illinoisans. He did. And almost the same number of people voted for the millionaire tax, which they did say was going to be, but it was not something that they were like, it was not binding. It was something that they were saying, yes, we would like this to happen. And then 3 Democrats voted against it under Rauner's administration. Franks, Duncan, and Drury. Yeah, Duncan. I will always remember that. At any rate, I mean, it's as complicated as you're saying, and then it's even more complicated than that.
And I also think, Greg, with your background, you understand it fundamentally better than me or lots of other folks. So I do want to acknowledge you do have a level of expertise here that many of us do not have.
So I've got to run to a break. Thank you so much for calling in, Greg. We appreciate it. Let's take a break here. We're hanging out in studio with Ken Mejia Beal, my Hump Day Honey, and we'll continue our conversation when we come back in just a moment on WCPT 820, Heartland Signal, and KKNW 1150 and KTNF AM 950. More in a moment. Of course, digitally as well.
The Stephanie Miller Show.
Oh, Tommy Lauren. Instead of the birthright citizenship ruling, the invasion worked. Megyn Kelly accused the squish conservatives on the Supreme Court of being too afraid of being called racist. Mike Lee said, if a woman gives birth at the Supreme Court, is her baby entitled to automatic status as a justice? Wow, it was a bad day for stupid people yesterday, wasn't it?
The Stephanie Miller Show. Weekdays at 8 a.m. on WCPT.
How do you know you're home? At Habitat for Humanity, we believe it's when you find peace, stability, and safety. But 1 in 3 people on Earth woke up today without a good home. Not because of chance, but because of high costs and other very real barriers. A housing crisis this big needs all of us. So let's open the door to opportunity and build a tomorrow where home is possible for everyone. Visit Habitat.org to learn more. Again, that's Habitat.org. Habitat for Humanity. Let's open the door.
WCPT replay.
I am thrilled to be joined by Tom Nichols, staff writer at The Atlantic.
Illiberalism is a global movement right now of people using the levers of democracy to vote for people who are going to take away their democracy. It's basically like saying, I'm an American and I have rights, and I'm going to vote for the guy that's going to take away my rights because that will punish other people too. The illiberal movement is not the very poorest against the very richest. What you find with Trump voters, just as you did with illiberal voters in Italy and Poland and Turkey and other places, is that these are actually middle-class voters. Most of them are reasonably comfortable. You know, if you look at the January 6th rioters, these were not unemployed factory workers. These were chiropractors and retired cops and real estate agents.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Here's great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin.
Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
All right, let's hit it.
At 773-763-9278.
I got a lot to say.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining as we continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150, KTNF AM 950. We're so happy to have our friends tuning in Seattle and Minneapolis, St. Paul, and folks tuning in digitally anywhere, actually. Someday I've got to do a roll call of folks. I know we've gotten phone calls from Detroit, from California, from Las Vegas. We've got friends who are tuning in Maryland, and we're always glad to hear from you. If you are tuning in from someplace I haven't mentioned, let us know.
Yeah, we want to talk to everybody.
You can text me at 773-763-9278. Even if you're listening to this later, I check through the text screen to see if I miss any messages sometimes. There are folks who are texting in about the weekend shows and some of the promos. As we mentioned at the beginning of every weekend brokered show, the opinions of the shows do not reflect those of the station. I just want you to know I hear you. So at any rate, hi, Ken Mejia.
Hi.
My hump day honey.
Yeah, my opinions are my own. They are all mine.
Right.
All mine.
Ken Mejia Beal is our hump day honey, and he is the Midwest chair for the Victory Fund.
Very proud.
And there were, it's interesting that we mentioned earlier the primaries yesterday in Michigan and Kansas. I believe
in Missouri.
In Missouri, and there were some initiatives on the ballot in Missouri.
Yes.
Where basically the Republicans were trying to rescind the voice of the people.
Yes.
And what they could do.
Which is what they do.
I mean, there's just that. One of the things that we don't talk very much about and has come to light again because they're flooding the zone. And there's so much horrible things happening, whether it's ICE or the war in Iran or taking over Venezuela. Did you hear today about this helipad? Like he doesn't want it to be grass anymore. They're ripping out where the helicopter lands.
I didn't.
He wants marble or some crap like that.
Of course he does.
The reflecting pool and just,
I have heard about the reflecting pool.
So yes, so Blanche.
Every day is a new nightmare.
Well, the AG who is possibly going to be confirmed soon, Blanche, who is Donald Trump's personal attorney, and by the way, we haven't even talked about
conflict of interest, but let's go.
But we haven't even talked about Capital One suspending his accounts on suspicion of money laundering.
I will say this: I didn't when I was in Amsterdam. I did see a meme of him and Sam L. Jackson going, "Not in your wallet," and I didn't get it until now I got it.
Yeah.
Now I got it. Yeah.
So at any rate, one of the stories that some folks have been talking about, and I haven't even had a chance to touch on yet, is AG to be appointed. I mean, to be confirmed, possibly Blanche.
He will be appointed because I know he's going to be appointed because Susan Collins says she won't vote for him, and she has no spine, which means that he has the votes.
That's right. So he was at some sort of prayer call. He was on a prayer call, and he was talking about how he's going to make sure he enforces Dobbs in every state, including those where abortion is now legal. Meaning that apparently, so there's so much has happened. And when Roe v. Wade fell and the Dobbs decision was rendered, Alito said, basically giving the path for full ban, meaning mifepristone. So they're going to go after the male right there. And what folks need to understand is that abortions have not gone down. Like there aren't fewer abortions now, and women are making decisions to abort quicker because they're like, well, I don't want to miss that window. So rather than giving a woman or in many cases girls the opportunity to have autonomy over their own bodies and make decisions regardless of how they got pregnant, and we're talking often when we talk about young girls who have been raped, and we don't want to give them that freedom.
And let me say this, regardless of whether it's legal or illegal, wealthy women will always have access to safe abortions.
Yes.
And that is what I really need folks to really understand is wealthy women will always have access. It is women that cannot afford that will always pay the price. And it's going to come down to class. And we talk about Republican versus Democrat often. And I like to pivot to say we're also in a class war, because those that can will, and those that can't will suffer. And we're going to end up with the back alley abortions again. We're going to end up with women dying and bleeding to death because they can't afford it. And that is what really, I almost said a bad word, really bothers me, is that this is a class war yet again.
And this was what Martin Luther King, before he was assassinated, was talking about, was the poor has as much in common with people who are the targets of racism.
Yep. They don't see it, though, until it's too late.
I know. Well, because, there are folks who want it to be somebody else's fault, that their life is the way it is. Mm-hmm. And my brain doesn't work that way.
And for those that are think of the children, and let's pretend for a moment that I believe a fetus is a child, which I don't. So let me be very upfront about that. But let's pretend I did. Can you imagine not having the resources to take care of a child and being forced to, and resenting that child every day of your life? Is that how you would want to be brought into, think about that. It's cruel.
There was a woman who was interviewed. She had fallen prey to one of these crisis counseling,
which should be illegal, but continue.
Where they essentially pretend
lie.
to be right
until it's too late.
Yeah, they
it's
lie.
Horrible.
And this woman talks about she doesn't want to resent her child, but she was not able to progress in her career. She's a single mother, and she knows it's entirely because she was forced to have. It's forced birthing. It's not pro-life.
It's not pro-life. It's forced birth.
At any rate, abortions have gone up for various reasons, and I'm telling you, there are medical professionals who say that they see women who decide to have an abortion by 6 weeks because they know if they wait any longer, it will be illegal. Correct. So they terminate the pregnancy, regardless of maybe given some time, they might have sat with it.
Maybe 4 more weeks.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe. But if you're going to force a woman into forced birth, then they're going to take the moments they can to continue to control their bodies and their future.
And I do believe strongly, and I've heard so many stories about women who have had to get abortions because of medical reasons or the child. I want to get to a place where, and by all means, if you want to share these stories, go for it. I'm not harping on it. But what I am saying, I think it's outrageous that women have to divulge all this information. If you want an abortion, you should be able to have an abortion. That is straight from me. That is my opinion. I'm not your doctor. I'm not your priest. If that is what you want to do, you should be able to do it. And you shouldn't have to have a sad sob story.
No, it's
not my business. Yeah, and I stand by that.
None of your business. Yep.
Not my business.
Yes. Blanche has pledged to make Dobbs' decision permanent in every state. Let's take a phone call on other topics that if you have anything you want to share, it doesn't have to be on this topic, and it can be on something you're reacting to from earlier in the show, as John is from Hoffman Estates. What's on your mind, John?
Hey, Patty, how y'all doing today?
We're doing good.
John, the black veteran. I always say black veteran. I want y'all to know what a man is. I'm a real patriotism. But that guy calling about the taxes, how he gonna sit here and say the rich shouldn't be paying more taxes? They should pay more taxes. They squeeze all the money out of this country as it is. But why they gonna squeeze it and put it on the people that works every day? That's what's wrong with this country now. They squeeze the little people. The hell is wrong with people that they say they shouldn't pay more tax? That's why we should get more taxes out of them so they can help the public school, so they can help the hospital, so they can help everything in this country because they're squeezing everybody else. So stop telling that lie, because I hate when people call the station lying, saying they shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. They always talk about the white supremacists. They're always keeping us down.
And the other thing is,
pay everything else they need to pay in this country. country.
See, what's interesting, as I was going to say, the passion that John has was because our last caller, Greg, he spoke with confidence, and it was, I was trying to explain one about the rate at which rich people pay, like the 400 billionaires pay 8%.
Outrageous.
And here's the thing: it's demonstrably untrue.
It is
that taxing the rich doesn't work, because all you have to do is look at what Franklin D. Roosevelt accomplished by raising the tax rate for the most wealthy from 63% to 94%.
And I will say this. I asked one question, and my question was, do you believe that the top 20% are paying their fair share? And when the answer to that was, well, they're paying 60%, got it. I have nothing more to say. Because 60% of $2 billion, right, and 60% of $38,000, like, let's have that. Like, it's not about it's about how much you're bringing in versus your debt to income. So yeah, the rich should pay more.
In 1935, the wealth tax brought the individual rates to 79% for incomes over $5 million. So the income over $5 million, so up to $5 million. You're not being taxed 79%.
Which is fair.
I mean, in 1937, they targeted and closed specific tax evasion loopholes that corporate structures had been using for wealthy individuals.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is so hard at any rate.
Well, it's hard to understand when you don't want to understand. And that's where I'll leave it. I think our tax codes in this country are complicated for various reasons. I think they're complicated to confuse a lot of us. I think our tax codes are archaic, and I don't think our tax codes are for the middle class. Our tax codes are built to, I think, enhance the life of folks in poverty while also not detrimenting the wealthiest. It's impacting the middle class. I think that's what our tax codes are built for, and that's not fair.
And yeah,
that's my opinion. And what do I know?
And the amount of passive income that the wealthy are able to accumulate.
Yeah, we don't have time to talk about that, but that's something we maybe should talk about and think about more often.
Well, thank you so much for calling, my friend.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. This has been a wide range of conversation, and I appreciate it.
I love John's passion, though.
I did, too. And I'm so grateful for our new friends that came in studio.
Oh, I had a great time. I love seeing kids.
Oh, my God. Wasn't that lovely? It's
been
a
beautiful,
minute.
Yeah.
Amaz and Malachi Wright, thank you so much, and congratulations.
Make it to Harvey on Sunday, August 9th.
Yeah, you can help put the finishing touches on the therapy wall. And we also want to thank our friend, my new friend again as well, Jared Ploger. Jared Ploger.
Huge fan.
Candidate for Illinois State Senate District 42. And all the conversations that we've had in between with our listeners, our callers. Jeff, you got 20 seconds. It's rapid transmit without the sound effects. What's on your mind, Jeff?
Hey, I just wanted to say on the tax thing, we've done it before.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anybody who says we can't afford it, anybody who's like, oh, that's not going to work, it's going to drive business away, I'm sorry.
Yep.
We've done it before.
Yep.
We've got Reagan and Reagan's mismanagement of the government to thank for, clawing all of that back. And the same issue I have with countries that spend less on defense. Other countries are doing it and doing just fine. Countries that spend money on universal health care and spend money on...
Boom, there you go.
Boom. We can afford it.
We can do it.
Other places are doing just fine with it.
Thank you. I've got to go now, Jeff. I didn't mean to cut you off. I love hearing from you. It's
Thanks,
at the end
Jeff.
of the show. Thank you, Ken.
I agree.
Thank you, Lady B. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw